What's going on there, Salt Lords, and thank you for tuning into the very first episode of Table Salt EDH, a channel dedicated to providing you with Commander gameplay between four friends who love to shatter each other's dreams, break each other's hearts, and ruin each other's lives, because here at Table Salt EDH, we tend to play our games based more on blood feuds and personal vendettas rather than what the correct play should be, which, as you might guess, might make some sodium levels rise, but that's okay. We're still friends, we still love each other, but like all good friends, we like to bathe in each other's despair. Every game, we're going to hear from each player to break down their deck, get an insight on their strategy, see who's blood feeding with who, so on and so forth. Then we're going to break off into narrated gameplay, narrated by one of us every episode. After the game, we'll head back up top to check up on those salt levels, break down the game, and get each other's thoughts. If this sounds like something you're interested in, please feel free to give us a like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Without further ado, we're going to get into the first game, but before we do, let's meet our players and break down the decks.
Hey everybody, my name's Sean.
Sean, as a Magic player, is the very bane of my Magic existence.
So Sean just likes to do weird.
He likes unique win cons, like to mill or weird card effects.
Put half of your deck in your graveyard, discard your hand, use your creatures against you.
Often he will try to find alternative win conditions, and he will try to have large combo-centric plays.
Basically just make you lose your will to live. And he also has a huge blood feud with Dom.
Sean has a blood feud with Dom. Very long standing.
I don't know where this whole blood feud thing seems to be coming from. I don't think that I have a blood feud with Dom.
He and I have a very long and studied blood feud.
And today I'll be playing my black and blue commander, Mirko Vosk, the Mind Drinker. The goal of this deck is to win the game either by milling out your opponents or by using their graveyards against them, by casting creatures and other spells that you've been putting in their graveyards via the mill effect the whole game.
Hey everyone, my name's Dominic, and today I'm going to be playing Omnath, Locus of the Roil.
I think Dom just cares about winning.
Dom enjoys winning.
His ideal game is to win.
He does not care if he's having a good time.
That's what he likes doing.
New players, beware.
If we're having a good time.
New to the game, doesn't matter.
Your mom, your dad, your grandma, doesn't matter.
He just wants to win the game.
The old lady across the street, your little cousin, your dog.
Dom's gonna try to beat you.
That's really all he cares about.
This deck has a twofold strategy. First, play lands. Not only will it help you get your commander out early, it's also going to help you pump up your creatures with +1/+1 counters, which we all know is a great thing to have.
Dom loves to put together a massive board state with a lot of different engines going on. Engines that are either drawing in cards or getting more lands onto the battlefield or gaining a lot of life, putting +1/+1 counters on creatures.
Second, once you hit that 8th land, you're going to start drawing cards. You're going to start getting into that card advantage that you always need.
Dom loves to draw cards and just have more card advantage than anybody else at all times possible.
Second strategy, though, once you have a good solid mana base, is you're going to be playing out those elemental creature spells. Hopefully getting some great landfall abilities on top of that, so you can go ahead and swing in for those big plays.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. My name's Sterling.
Sterling, I think, is definitely the opposite of Dom in the way that Sterling just wants to do explosive, fun, crazy shit.
Sterling is the least saltiest out of all of us.
He doesn't necessarily care if he wins the game.
He would rather have a good time and make some fun plays and go out in a blaze of glory rather than just win all the time.
He just wants to leave a big impact and make sure that everyone else is having fun.
He really cares about bringing new players into the game, making sure that they're having fun, and just really he's the glue that holds the group together.
And today I'm playing Crick, son of Yawgmoth.
Playstyle wise, he's a really focused deck builder. He knows exactly what he wants to do when he builds a deck.
Sterling is a very focused deck builder. He loves to build around a very specific mechanic, a specific strategy within a deck.
Sterling, I think, loves to use a lot of monocolored commanders because he doesn't have to worry about fixing his mana base.
He likes building monocolored commanders. He has a Kiki Jiki deck. He has his Crick deck. I'm pretty sure he just hates fixing his mana base.
And with Crick, for each black in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana.
He will cheat spells and creatures out onto the field whenever he has a possible chance.
So the goal of Crick is to bust Crick out real quick and then overwhelm opponents with these crazy strong black spells that you can pay for using your life instead of mana. So essentially we're cheating stuff out.
Hey, what's up, Salt Lords? My name is Keith, and today I'm playing one of my favorite decks of all time, Surrak Dragonclaw.
Keith is the mischievous little goblin going around, trying his best to sow chaos and basically fuck with everybody else.
Keith as a player. He's a very mischievous player.
Mischievous, salty little boy.
He has a really good political game, really tries to bend reality around him to try and influence as much as possible.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one who knows he's manipulating and controlling the table, and we've played hundreds of games together, and I think I'm still the only one who knows when he's working things.
So the goal of this deck is to make all of my creatures uncounterable, give them trample, and just swing in with massive beaters.
For his decks in particular, though, Keith likes to build around his commander. He wants the commander to be essential to it, and kind of the main operating point of the deck.
He definitely likes to use his commander more of a centerpiece of his deck building. He likes commanders that basically are like a nitrous boost to his deck. You know, cards like Zur that lock all of his opponents out of the battlefield and then make him salty when he's all of a sudden arch enemy.
I don't get salty, okay? My feelings just get hurt. And so since Surrak gives all of my creatures trample, I'm using cards like Proud Wild Bonder to essentially make all of my big, beastie, trample-y creatures unblockable and just swing in for the win.
He loves those big moves with his commander particularly, to come in and take someone out or take the whole table out in one big turn.
Keith loves the alternate win cons. He loves to use Triumph the Hordes or other Infect cards that allow him to win the game that way.
And so all the guys know this, but it wouldn't be a true Keith deck if I wasn't running some form of Infect. So I've got cards like Triumph of the Hordes and Grafted Exoskeleton because you just never know when you're going to be able to sneak in and win a game with some good old-fashioned Infect.
And he loves to use those against Sterling.
And so the funny thing is, Sterling actually hates Triumph of the Hordes because I've repeatedly killed him with it like 6 or 7 times.
Within the group itself, he is a huge target for Infect, especially from Keith.
So the main goal of the deck is to get Surrak on the field, give my creatures trample, swing in with massive damage, and if you can kill Sterling with Infect, kill him with Infect.
What's up, guys? This is Sterling. Welcome to Table Salt EDH. Let's get into our first game. Sterling plays a swamp, taps that swamp for his pimped out X-Map, and then passes to Keith. Keith plays a forest, taps his forest for a Bird's Paradise, which he says is a famous move no one else does. For Sean, he plays a command tower and has an actual famous first turn.
Here it comes. Soul ring, bitch. That's all I got.
Sean passes to Dom. Dom then plays a forest and then passes turn. Sterling plays a swamp, then taps both swamps to crack the map to get the only land you ever get in a black deck, Cabal Coffers, and then passes to Keith. Keith draws for turn, announces to everyone that he drew a Teamer Ascendancy. We don't know why, and don't realize this until we watch the video later. He then plays a Cultivate to keep ramping. Sean plays a swamp, then taps for a Wishclaw Talisman. He then makes a deal with Sterling, giving him a wish if he promises to give it back and grab a Tomb of Yawgmoth, since it helps them both out. Dom plays an island and taps for Arcane Signet. Sterling uses his wish, grabs the tomb, then taps 1 for Font of Agonies, then passes the claw back to Sean and passes his turn to Keith. Keith plays an island and then suspiciously ends. Sean, utilizing the swamps created by Sterling's tomb, taps Cabal Coffers to make a boatload of mana. Then Sean plays Folio of Fancies, one of Sterling's most feared cards, but Sean uses it to draw everyone 1 card. Dom plays a mountain, plays Swiftfoot Boots, then plays Nature's Lore to bust out a forest, and then passes turn. Sterling plays a Myriad Landscape, and is excited because it's a swamp, then plays the Staff of Death Magus, allowing him to gain life every time he plays a swamp or a black spell. At the end of Sterling's turn, Keith flashes in his commander, Surrak. Then starts his turn by paying 2 life to play a Breeding Pool untapped. Keith decides to roll a dice to deal damage, quote-unquote, fairly, but then says that Sean is out of the equation, not wanting to get milled. Then Sterling threatens Keith and says he won't later blow up his creatures if he doesn't attack him. only leaving Dom to attack, so he does.
Let's roll a little die for it. Sean's completely out of the equation, of course. Dom is even. Sterling.
I won't blow
Sterling's
up
odds.
if you don't get me. I will not blow up Surrak if you don't get me.
Okay, Dom, I'm attacking you for 6.
Then he taps out for Itali, and the group freaks out a little bit. Sean plays a land that he wishes to take back, but the group says no, because we're in a recording. Sean asks if we can edit it out, and again, the group says no. Sean pays for Shiok, Nightmare Muse, and +1s her to create a 2/3 black-blue Nightmare creature that exiles an opponent's top 2 cards every time that creature attacks or blocks. Sterling confronts Sean for not handling Itali, but Sean says he could have if he had played that other land this turn. Sean passes, and then Sterling says it's up to Dom to handle Itali. Dom plays Urza's Incubator, and then plays his commander, Omnath, and then passes the turn. Sterling plays Cabal Coffers to enjoy the same black ramp that Sean is, and then gains 1 life from the staff. And then he uses 4 mana and pays 6 life to play Crick, his commander, which then gives him 1 more life. Sterling uses the rest of his mana to sack his Myriad Landscape to bring out 2 more swamps, netting him 2 more life. Because of the life lost this way, Sterling puts 6 counters on the Font of Agonies. Sterling sighs in frustration, realizing that he doesn't have enough mana for the Font of Agonies to blow up Itali. So instead, he pays 6 life for Sign in Blood, drawing 2 cards, looking for answers. Sterling then puts 6 more counters on the Font of Agonies and passes. Keith plays Rhythm of the Wild and Temur Ascendancy, and then swings Itali at Sean and swings Surrak at Dom.
Is there a reason
okay,
you're not swinging at Sterling at all?
I'm afraid of him, that he's going to blow up my shit.
So wouldn't you want to attack him?
I don't want him to blow up my shit.
So
Just
when I
a
block,
quick reminder, Keith. I'll blow up everything on your field if you touch me.
There's your reason, Dom.
Keith falls for Sterling's bluff. Everyone has to reveal the top cards of their libraries with Itali's trigger. Sean reveals an island, which Keith mistakenly plays. Dom reveals Return of the Wild Speaker, and Sterling reveals an Exsanguinate. In a move driven by pure bloodlust, rather than Keith activating the card draw effect of the Wild Speaker, he activates the +3/+3 to his creatures option to deal more damage to Sean and Dom. Sean decides to block with his little nightmare creature to prevent 3 of the 9 damage coming at him, so everyone exiles the top 2 cards, which ended up being great because we got rid of Keith's Cyclonic Rift. Sterling and Dom's cards aren't very important. Damage then resolves. Keith then passes. Sean plays Ghost Quarter, then hits his Soul Ring to Cabal Coffers to activate the machine, and adds 2 blue to play Jace Memory Adept. He uses Jace's 0 ability to mill Keith for 10. Keith totally understands. Keith mills 10, and the most notable card discarded in that pile was Goreclaw, the group decides. Sean allows everyone to draw a card with the Folio of Fancies to make it up to Keith. He then +1s Ashiok again to get another nightmare creature. Dom plays a Risen Reef, then goes to strike a deal with Keith.
Hey Keith, do you not want to swing at me so I actually get to play this game?
Yeah.
You can,
I'll give
swing
you-
at literally Sterling, who is sitting there with all that life he can spend.
He just said he's blown up my Atali.
True. That's very true.
But yeah, I'll give you a turn.
Dom unhappily plays Securitas Route to look for 2 lands and pass his turn. The group then fights a little bit after Keith throws a wrench into things.
I'll only not attack you if you attack Sterling.
wow.
Well, look at him. He's sitting over there. Sitting over there.
Changing the terms of the deal.
No, all right, fine. I won't change. I won't change it. I just won't attack you. You can do whatever you want.
All I'm literally doing is just grabbing cards.
Yeah, so you can
He's just here to
freaking
draw
swarm us later. Hey, mark my words. Mark my words. This is the point in the game where no one looks at Dom. You guys will kill me, and then he'll come back and swing and kill all
I
of
don't
you.
have an Atali or a Trample Surrak.
Not yet. Not yet.
Dom then puts 2 counters on Omnath and says Omnath is only a 5/5, and the group doesn't like how he said that. Dom passes turn. Sterling points out that Keith calling everyone out is him manipulating the game. Sterling plays Temple of the False God, which counts as a swamp with a tomb on the field, and gains him 1 life. He pays 2 life to equip Crick with Kai's Ghost Form. Then Sterling taps Cabal Coffers with Temple of the False God for what he says is a boatload of mana. Keith says that Sterling should just rip off the band-aid and kill Itali. Sterling agrees, but takes out not just Itali, but Dom's Omnath and Risen Reef, which Dom doesn't like.
Dude, fucking really?
Then Sterling plays Cryptcast to further ramp and to become even more drunk with power. Sean thanks the Lords of Chaos for not being the center of all the hatred for once. Then he uses 5 mana and pays 6 life to play Baleful Force to draw 1 card and pay 1 life at each upkeep. Sterling blows up Sean's last creature, then pays 6 more life for Necropotence and uses Crick to attack Jace, Memory Adept, killing it. And then, with Necropotence, he pays 7 life to draw 7 cards and ends turn. Dom asks what Sterling's life is, and Sterling says 16. Sean mistakenly starts a turn, and Keith reminds him that it's his turn and not to be too excited to knock out Sterling. Keith then plays Archetype of Endurance to give his creatures hexproof and take away hexproof from all opponent's creatures. Keith ensures that his creatures are not going to swing at Sean, so Sean lets the archetype resolve. Keith then swings his 6/6 Surrak at Sterling, and Sterling reminds him that he has a 7/7 Baleful Force out. Keith redacts his move to not lose Surrak. Keith ensures the group that he can't do anything now, but he can help next turn. Things are looking pretty bleak for Keith, Sean, and Dom, but pretty hot for Sterling. For Sean's actual turn, he plays Limdol's Vault to search for answers, and then asks Sterling if Crick is an artifact creature, and Sterling, very offended, says no.
Sterling, is a Crick an artifact creature?
Oh, don't even try it.
Sean taps the folio to have everyone draw 3 cards. He then asks the team to help him decide which is the best thing on Sterling's board to bounce. They go back and forth but ultimately decide on the Font of Agonies because of the insane amount of counters on it. It bounces back to Sterling's hand, and then Sterling has to exile a card and chooses a swamp. Dom taps for Omnath again and pinks Crick for 1. Dom then casts the most targeted Decimate of all time, and thinking that the full Decimate is going for him, Sterling casts Deadly Rollick for free since Crick is out, and exiles Dom's Omnath. Then, with the recommendations of Keith and Sean, Dom snipes Crick, Necropotence, Cabal Coffers, and the Staff of the Death Magus. This single turn may have saved them from Sterling on his next turn, and it definitely almost won Sterling the Saltiest Player award. At the end of Dom's turn, Sean kicks Sterling while he's down in classic Sean fashion and kills Crick. Sterling plays Bubbling Muck, allowing him to double up on black mana again. He taps out for an absolute dickload and floats it. Sterling swings his Baleful Force at Sean's Planeswalker to kill it, and then plays Damnation. He pays more life to play Crick, bringing him to 5 life, and then plays Magus of the Moon in an attempt to later swap life with another player. Sterling then sadly plays an underpowered Promise of Power, only creating a 9/9 flying demon creature, but without drawing any of the cards. Keith plays Druid of the Elysian Grove, and then plays Wilderness Reclamation. Keith plays a Gruul Turf to bounce a land, and then he plays the land that was bounced. He then plays but struggles to say the name of Elysian Caryatid. Keith ends his turn and untaps all of his lands. Sean taps Cabal Coffers and then plays Life's Finale, clearing the board, and then decides that Sterling needs to pick 3 cards from his deck to put into the graveyard. Sean requests that Sterling puts anything with Infect into his graveyard, and then plays Dimir Aqueduct, bouncing his Cabal Coffers back to his hand. Trying to calm the crowd, Sean feeds the folio to have everyone draw 2 cards. Concluding his turn, Sean passes to Dom. Dom plays a Flamekin Village as his land for turn, and reveals Ingot Chewer so it comes into play untapped, then pays a whopping 6 for Omnath to get him back. Dom then plays Kadama's Reach, puts a land onto the battlefield, bringing Omnath online, and drawing him a card. Dom points out that there is no maximum hand size because of the folio, and Sterling is really butthurt because he discarded a lot of cards. Omnath then slips on some boots and then swings at Keith for 4. Sterling opens by thanking Dom for sparing him. Sterling then deploys a decoy, knowing that if he talked up a big game about his first card, it would be countered before his more important card to follow.
Absolutely fucking crucial to this plan. I must tap 1 for Dark Ritual to give myself 3.
Oh god, here we go.
I will. Hold on. I will
No.
tap. Yep. I will tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Most expensive counterspell ever.
Damn it.
What is happening to me?
He's gonna rift. Isn't he?
He's countering your existence.
To flash in Surrak,
Oh.
and then I will tap 1 to play Stubborn Denial to counter that. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, counter that spell instead, or else you'd be able to counter my counter with Penguin.
All right.
Nice.
I love you, but you fell right into my trap. This was not crucial to my plan at all.
So,
I needed the next spell to resolve really badly.
Sterling then taps out to play Repay in Kind, bringing everyone's life down to 5. Sterling was too caught up in the massive play to reduce lives that he didn't realize that he locked in the game for Keith.
I definitely can't do shit after that. So. I'm completely done, and I'm gonna go.
Oh, Keith is now the arbiter of all of our fates.
I know. That was so funny, dude.
Alright.
Holy shit.
gonna untap.
Oh god.
My plan originally was to switch life totals with Keith, but I had to settle for the second bet.
He could kill us all right now.
Horse for turn.
He's
And then
gonna
I'll
win the
play
game.
a mountain for turn.
He'll need at least 3 creatures to kill us.
He needs just 2 more creatures. There's no way he's not gonna get it.
But they have to be power 5 or greater.
Alright, I'm gonna tap 5. I'm gonna play Corpsewood Crasher.
God damn it.
It's got haste.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No.
I'm gonna play God Eternal Ronus. I'm gonna swing at everyone. Sterling for 5, Sean for 6, Dom for 6.
You know what, Sterling? I'm gonna sacrifice Ghost Quarter just to blow up your Temple of the False God, just for being a dick.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, dude. What the best winning? What the
What the
best
hell?
win out of any
God
fucking win?
Damn it.
Thank you, Sterling, for winning me that game.
You fucking little goblin. God damn it.
Okay, the game is over. Now let's connect with the guys.
Welcome back, Salt Lords. I won. It happened.
Ooh.
Well,
You guys can't give me a hand? Come on.
No.
Everyone just applaud me.
I gave you the
The
land.
assist.
Or the
Sterling with the assist.
Give basketball turn.
So obviously, some may say that Sterling won me the game. I think I just played it very perfectly, very strategically. I think countering your Dark Ritual there at the end was crucial to my victory. And yeah, I think overall I just, sometimes life just falls together, falls into place for you, and today is one of those days. And I'll always remember this night for the rest of my life. But anyways, getting into it, Sterling, let's talk about your last play. What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
There are 2 things in my Crick deck that I've wanted to do this whole time, and I've not been able to until tonight. And it's been so long that I wasn't thinking straight, and I made everybody's lives. I dropped everybody's life total down to 4 or 5, whatever it was, to equal mine. And I didn't think of the consequences. I did it just because I wanted that card to go off so bad.
Yeah, okay. Did you
and-
think that there's any chance you would win?
Not that I'd win. Not at that point.
Did you
I
know-
knew-
Did you know that I would win?
Mm,
Did you have a pretty good gut feeling? Like, Keith probably win. He's so good that he'll probably just take the game.
No. I had a really good feeling I was gonna die, and Dom should have killed me. I was on borrowed time. The fact that Dom didn't kill me when he had the chance, I was destined to die.
And Dom, you could have killed Sterling, and you didn't. Instead, you swung at me. What do you have to say for yourself?
I did not predict that Sterling was going to drop all of our lives down to 5.
Well, that's the thing. You never predict. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, my process for choosing targets typically is either how salty am I, also who has the highest life total, just so we can kind of slowly dwindle down to that tense late game.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, to be fair, we've all seen some crazy Surrak shenanigans, so I don't blame you for attacking me. But I do blame you for attacking me, and I'll remember it.
I think
Oh, man. So, Sterling, how do you think your commander did? I think it did awesome.
I think he did great. He was out there for a really long time, and I played, 5+ spells with him? Way more, right? Like 10?
Yeah, I think this was his shining moment. I don't think I've ever seen him perform that well, to be honest.
that was probably what led to my downfall. I played him way too hard, way too aggressively, got drunk with power. And,
Yes.
I collapsed.
And that's not the first time that Crick has corrupted your conscience. We have seen it happen before. We won't mention any times or any agreements that we've had in the past where you've broken them and just swung out for wins. But it has happened. What about your deck strategy? How did that go?
It was, I started to pop off. It was going really well, but it doesn't matter how good your deck is when everybody's ganging up on you.
Yes.
You guys realized I was a threat, started beating me down to size, and it worked. I started running out of accelerators, out of mana. Crick left the field. I used up all my good shit by the time I needed it.
And I thank you for your assist. Thank you very much. Sean, how did it go for you, bud?
I think overall it went well.
I mean, you weren't arch enemy, so
Lands.
that's a win, right?
It did feel nice not being the arch enemy when I'm playing Mirko, like the first time I've ever played him. So that was definitely that was a plus. I just realized I'm not looking at the camera, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, which is everybody, nobody knows yet, but Sean does tend to piss everybody off when he plays Mirko. Not me though. Not once have I ever been mad about Mirko.
Not once. Can't think of the time.
He's never like milled half my deck in like the first 3 turns of the game when I'm like just like got a new deck and I'm like trying to learn how to play it, and then next thing you know, half of my library is in the graveyard, and then I get really salty like really fast, like beyond game salt, like life friendship ending salt. But then I quickly shifted gears though, and then I ended up Venmoing him $8 to make up for it.
Crucial In-N-Out burger on my bad.
So how do you think your commander did this game?
Didn't play him once.
Didn't play him once, did you?
Actually, it's kind of becoming a theme with Mirko. I get so wrapped up in trying to draw cards or try to get some ramp out because Black and Blue naturally has not a lot of ramp to begin with. So I'm kind of beginning to wonder if I need to swap out Mirko for something that maybe... I really don't know. I can't think of any other Black and Blue commanders that do what my deck wants to do,
yeah,
but also provides me more value.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, look at this. That's a breath of fresh air because I didn't get milled out for half my deck this game, and I love it.
No traumatizers were cast this game.
Ugh. It was beautiful.
Sometimes 3 of them are played in one game.
Yeah, sometimes they are.
What's crazy is that in the new Zendikar set, they've got an even worse version of it.
Yeah.
It's Maddening Cacophony.
Yes, yeah, let's talk about
normally
Zendikar for a second. It's going to be very good for your Mirko deck.
Oh, dude, it's going to be amazing for my Mirko deck.
There's like, what,
so
4
many
auto
cards that
includes?
I thought were powerful in my deck to begin with that it's just not going to get supercharged. It's fucking ridiculous.
I know it doesn't fit in your deck all that well, but can you please get Big Boy Crab?
Yes.
Please.
What?
That big crab.
It's like 0-17.
Oh.
And then when it...
I mean...
you could pay 4, I think, and then it gets plus X, minus X, where X is the number of islands you control.
You're telling me I can't have 17 islands? That's bullshit.
Yes, but how fun would that be?
So it is, it's not Ruin Crab, is it?
No, that's like the better version
of Hedron Crab, yeah. I do know which one you're talking about though, Sterling.
It's Big Boy Crab. I looked at Big Boy
Crab.
Yep.
Big Boy Crab.
Mr. Krabs.
All right, let's get Big Boy Crab in there. And then what's one takeaway from this game today, Sean, besides the fact that you weren't arch enemy and that finally our hero won?
I think my 2 biggest things is that I always say that I have like a little light group hug theme in this deck that I never get around to, and I finally did this game.
Yeah.
Didn't really help me. I had 2 planeswalkers out and both were killed, so
it didn't help you, but
effective the group hug thing was.
But it did help me. So
it helped you.
It helped someone.
Helped everybody else.
It helped someone. Helped me. And I do specifically remember one time you saying that you have a light group hug theme in your deck, and I scoffed at it. I was like, I've never seen any amount of group hug happen, and today I saw it, and for that, I thank you.
Well, good.
Thank you,
At
Sean.
least you're fucking happy.
Yeah.
Because God knows I don't care about my own happiness.
You are the light in the sky in my eyes. Dom,
Hello.
things took a little turn for the saltiest, huh?
Yeah. I had a solid, steady start to the game. I was slowly building, got Omnath out, and yeah, things started to kind of go downhill from there.
Yeah, Sterling hit you for 15 commander damage.
Yeah, that was definitely Sterling that hit me for 15 commander damage. You know,
Was
definitely hit me with that crick, trample bullshit.
Now, was that the turning point, the beginning of the salt in your mind, is when I was just swinging at you because you made yourself wide open, and what do you expect me to do about it?
Yes, because I made myself wide open by ramping instead of playing creatures. No, it was the intimidation factor from Sterling and the fact that you were hitting me, and you could have spread the love out a little bit.
Well, you know what they say? When you ramp, you get slapped, and I did that to you today. I'm sorry.
He's coining that.
I'm coining it.
You
Always
say that. Can confirm.
How did you feel like your commander did? I mean, how did he do? I mean,
Horribly.
he came out though. He at least made appearance three different times.
I played my commander, I think, the most. And I got some card draw going. I was trying to put some +1/+1 counters around, but ultimately
Trying to do that Dom.
that targeted removal shit is what just threw me for a loop. And it's what led to my salty decimate, where I, instead of spreading the love, it was just like, no, it'll be 4 things on Sterling's board.
Yeah. I tried to hide my excitement when I saw that card was targeting all of Sterling's side of the board.
Well, so my original plan was to destroy either Surrak or Atali, the Folio of Fancies, the font of what card is that, Sterling?
Let's just call it the font.
The font.
Font of Agonies?
Font of Agonies. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll pull it up.
Like Necropotence or something. Like it was going to be that, or it was going to be kind of that organization, or at least like Cabal Coffers or something.
That would have been fair and good.
Yeah. But then it was with you hitting Omnath again. It was like, nope, sorry.
That was one of my favorite plays of the game. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it was font of Agonies. Good job, Sean.
And I would ask how your strategy went, but I think your strategy ended up just like targeting Sterling for everything.
It's just out that door, out the window, down the street, and ran into traffic.
Yep, ran right into Sterling's house. And one takeaway from the game.
I'm gonna remember this.
You're gonna remember this. Oh, dude, that's scary. I cannot wait for next game because I know that it is not I who will be on the arch enemy list. Well, oh wait, actually, it might be.
Oh, it's gonna be multiple people.
Probably all of us. Well, you have fun picking which one.
Yeah, I know, right? Way to take on everyone.
I killed no one. Keith killed everyone. So I feel like, Keith should be the arch enemy.
Yeah, but
I'm just here to draw everybody cards.
yeah,
And
but
he's the happiest right now. So I feel like naturally he should be the saltiest next game.
but you essentially handed me the game on a silver platter, which I do appreciate. And dude, I'll remember that for next game for sure. I'll probably spare you a little bit of strife.
This is how games are won. You got to start working them before you even start playing.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready for next week. I'm trying to sauce all of you up.
yeah.
You can't take game 1, take game 2.
Yeah, I'm already looking at what I could purchase for Sean to avoid getting milled out. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's called bribery.
The answer is more In-N-Out Burger.
And as far as Surrak goes, he did Surrak things. Surrak just wants to get creatures out there, hit Dom for 15, and go home. And he did that. I mean, we saw Atali. If you could untap with Atali once, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do, then it's a good game. And the reason I played him so early, before I played cards that would give him haste and stuff, is because I wanted to have a threat on the board that you guys would target before other things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because I played him pretty early. Normally I like to wait till I could protect him or give him haste so I could at least swing out once. But there's some things that I wanted to do. Namely, I had Triumph of the Hordes. I wanted to kill Sterling with it, and I wanted people to waste all their energy on Atali before getting into that. But I didn't have to use Triumph of the Hordes this time around because Sterling infected himself.
Whoa, I wouldn't go there.
And the rest of us.
Yeah. All right.
Sterling came to us, gave us a hug, pulled the grenade, and said, "I love you."
I love it.
Chaos Goblin that he is.
That was a Chaos Goblin move. And so every game we're going to hand out a salty staff, the Salt Trophy. And today's lucky recipient is none other than Dom. Dom, congratulations. You're the saltiest player of the game.
Yeah. First Salt Lord. Yeah.
I mean, we can't call ourselves Table Salt EDH and not get salty
No.
every now and then, right?
I got
I'll
real
like
pissed.
animate that somehow in there.
Make sure.
My particular favorite moment of Salt came from when Keith attacked Dom for like the second or third time, and Dom was like, "Why the shit aren't you attacking Sterling?"
Yeah. Didn't he ask what a card did? He asked what some card did, and when Dom asks you what a card does, it means that he's fucking salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Dom gets into
really evaluate your board state.
when Dom starts feeling the pressure, yeah, he immediately starts wanting to know the history and origin of every single card in your deck,
I want
what
a
it does,
token level of history
why it's
on
doing it.
fucking card.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, Salt Lords, thank you for tuning into the very first episode of Table Salt EDH. We will be back next time with new commanders, new decks, and more salt. Thank you. Bye.
You guys.